Hey everybody, it's Hawk versus Wolf, and I'm not Tony Hawk.
And I am not Jason Ellis either.
Good job, dude.
Thanks. Did I bring the hype?
Yeah, really, I can't wait to listen to this episode.
Welcome. Here we go.
I was thinking about, because when I first discovered Tony Hawk, you didn't seem like you were real. I thought maybe you were cheating, like you're an alien. Do you ever hear anybody say that you might have been an alien and shit?
No.
But I was thinking...
I remember Tom Boyle telling me to my face that I was a freak.
Right, but in a nice way.
In a nice way, but he's like, do you ever think about it? Like, just think to yourself, like, man, I'm a freak.
Yeah. Was he
No,
drinking?
I don't. He was drinking.
Yeah, that sounds like a drunk Tom thing to say.
But he was always... Tom Boyle, rest in peace. Tom Boyle was so friendly, so fun to be around.
One of the greatest skateboarders.
Skateboarders. He was the Rock.
Yep. Before the Rock.
I am honored to have been beaten by him at a competition.
Yeah. Wow. He would really like to hear that.
I hope so.
But I was thinking maybe you're a vampire, and you know how vampires, they have...
What a start.
Well, in the movies, it's like vampires can die from wooden stakes or the sun.
Oh, there's some weakness.
Or garlic. Yeah, but it's always like in different movies, they don't have the same problems. And then there's daywalkers, like Blade.
Oh, my God.
So you could be like a Blade, and you're cheating because you're actually a vampire.
Maybe.
But you got older. So that kind of gives away that you're a vampire.
I didn't find that... Right.
Because otherwise
I'm not eternally young, right?
Right. That would be a giveaway.
I
But
think
you could be wearing
the wooden
makeup.
stake in my life has been my broken femur, for sure.
Right.
Knocked me into reality.
That's how you kill a vampire in
that's
2000.
It. Vampire skater.
Yeah. You break their leg.
There you go. Break their leg. That's all it takes.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy Kerrigan. Boom.
I was
out.
I got the COVID, so I had the COVID when I was here. So sorry everybody, I didn't know that until I got home. But I've been recovering.
Oh, with Tommy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, well...
He texted me and was like, cool, man, that was real cool that you came with COVID. And I was like, I didn't know. And he's like, nah, man, but seriously, though, that's really cool. And I was
he didn't get it, though.
I think he might have.
Oh, he did? Because he told me he was...
I hope so, but he made me feel bad. I know that.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, wow, Tommy Guerrero was telling me. Did you really? Were you
Well,
there
we
with
did the
COVID?
live show in my office, and everyone that was in the office, except me, got it.
I didn't have it then, though, did I?
You did.
I did.
Yeah. Skankfest, name checks out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's... I thought the name of Skankfest was Skanks at a festival, but it's actually just festering skank.
No, yeah, there you go.
Festering skanks.
Okay, there you go.
That's what it really means.
Oh my God.
A bunch of festering skanks. They're just fucking putrid there.
So you're quite the promoter.
It's a great... Hey, I don't think people that go to Skankfest are like, hell yeah, it's full of skanky, festering motherfuckers. Look at me.
True.
They love it.
They embrace it.
But the COVID, because I got the vaccine and I got the booster, and then I got COVID and I didn't die and I didn't go to hospital, which is what I always thought was what the point of that needle was. But I got to tell you, with all the podcasts moving and I'm moving house, I'm changing clothing company, like I'm moving my whole clothing line to another production, and I can't wait for this.
Changes.
I just want the vaccine to kick in so I can be a robot, because this is stressful. Like if I was a robot, yeah, because remember the vaccine might have a thing in it, like
robot
a chip.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, all I want is just my robot sandwich. Right. I wake up, get a robot sandwich.
We're back to that.
And I go back to whatever my job is, and then the buzzer goes off, and I get another robot sandwich, and it's just do all day.
And occasionally you get to sleep with another robot.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I don't sleep with another robot, I'm not worried because I'm a robot and I'm under control.
You don't have those urges.
I don't have the urges.
Right.
So there's no stress. It's like, hey, Hawk versus Wolf moving. We're not, we've got to rebuild everything. And I'm like, I'm really bummed out about that. But if I was a robot, I'd be like, whatever, where's my sandwich?
I got to tell you,
when's it gonna kick in is my question.
I have been enjoying our changes. I'm enjoying the prospect of what things could be.
Yeah, okay.
It does feel like we're not just stuck and we're doing the same thing. Like we are moving forward and we look at where we are. We got these guys made a makeshift studio for us in Santa Monica.
It does feel better.
Yeah, there's support, and and we got our Patreon going, and
Thanks.
we are building out a new studio. I'll show you designs.
Thanks,
Pretty
Uncle
sick.
Tony. That feels pretty good. But I'm just saying, I feel like less stress if I was just a robot and the vaccine
Understood.
had a microchip in it and it kicked in.
Yeah.
Just like building blocks or something, I would assume they'd have me do.
Well, maybe it's like a time release thing. Maybe it will.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're listening, robot injection, fucking kick in, will you?
Hit the
I'm getting
go
sick
button.
of this life stress.
Let's green light this thing.
Yeah. The podcast isn't doing that well. Where's my sandwich? That's all I want to know about.
Right.
But instead, I'm very concerned about all of it.
All right. Well, don't worry. It's going to be okay.
Thanks, Uncle Tony. I feel better.
You're going to make it. It's going to be okay.
You think I'm going to make it?
I think you're going to make
I'm
it.
worried, man.
No, you'll be right.
I feel like, is this the end? And I'm like, I don't want to be uncool.
Are you going to rebuild a studio in your new house?
I got photos of my new. It's getting built right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
you're
flew
way ahead
a
of
guy
me.
in.
Oh shit.
Once again, I'm
I just
spending.
realized I haven't replied back to the last
money.
design round, so that's on me.
Yeah, come on, man.
Dude, it's been hectic. It's
I
been
know,
so.
I know.
The last week of my life has been the most hectic.
Why?
It's trying to get a bunch of stuff done on deadlines that people want. Doing shoots. Went to New York for my nephew's wedding, and that was kind of like a 4-day affair. So that was
4 days.
Yeah, it was a lot. And it fell on the day before Halloween, so Kathy and I had to get up at 5 a.m. to catch a flight home in order to be home from my daughter to have a Halloween party, which she didn't tell us was involved 20 friends. 20 that she sent out an Evite for.
Oh.
Didn't even know it.
And didn't tell you.
Well, let's just say she wasn't forthcoming.
How many people did you think?
She said 10 at the last time we actually talked about.
Double that.
Yeah, and it was definitely more than that. It was a party. I mean, we're just. It's good that we got up early and did that thing, but it was hectic. Like, felt like I haven't slept.
Do you bring the cake out and sing happy birthday and give everybody hors d'oeuvres?
It was a Halloween party.
What does that
Did
mean?
I say birthday party?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you did.
Halloween party.
Wait, just for her?
Well,
did you
she
dress up?
invited people to have Halloween at our house.
Did you dress up?
No, I had no time. I barely had time to get the house ready for them.
Right. You made the house all creepy and shit just for the party?
As best we could with our limited time.
Right.
It was a half-assed Halloween on our part.
Yeah.
But a very big one for her.
Right. Yeah, because small people having their own parties.
I mean, like 20, 14-year-old girls, basically, at our house.
That sounds terrible.
Full on.
Yeah. Sorry, 14-year-old girls.
But I let them have their own. I let them have their own space, and then I sat by the door and just waited for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then
you do.
I did it. And then after like 2 hours.
2 hours?
I was just like, I don't think I can do this the rest of the night. So
no offense, but fuck those kids.
So I left. I did the thing where you
leave the ball out.
The honor
right.
system.
Yeah.
I left the ball out. I checked it like a half hour later.
One
it was
kid
almost
poured it into
empty,
a
and I
sleeping
just
bag.
shut off the lights.
Game over.
Yeah. Well, like the girls are still having their party, but our house was dark from the front.
When you were giving people the candy, were they like, holy shit, Tony Hawk?
A couple of them, yeah.
Right.
And I think some came for that purpose.
Do you think anyone thought that you were dressed as Tony Hawk for Halloween?
I've heard that.
Like,
yeah.
you know who? That was a cool
my
costume,
God.
man. You look just like Tony Hawk.
Meme. So much meme.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I do have something happened in New York that was enlightening for me.
Okay.
When I arrived in New York, no one knew I was going there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, only my family knew. They didn't even know what flight I was on or when I was arriving, whatever. Flew to New York and landed. Miles flew there as well. We both landed at the same time. We're walking out to go get in an Uber, and Stu's there, signature stuff. And I was
Man,
like,
they are
"Dude,"
on you.
I was like, how did you know I was flying here? And he's like,
Oh, he gave you the insight.
so I go, how did you know? And he goes, this guy at TMZ. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, this guy at TMZ, he'll like reach out to me.
TMZ?
Well, so I think he goes rogue even in TMZ. So here's what he said. He goes, this guy emails me and says, oh, I know you're interested in these people. And like Tony Hawk is flying to New York on this day. And then I pay him. I can't remember what he said. I want to say he said $75. It might have been more.
Yeah, I would expect more. That's a hot scoop.
It was something like that. And then he goes, yeah, he works at TMZ. I go, how do you know that? He goes, because that's his email address.
Oh, they are selling your shit.
Yeah.
Is that illegal?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's illegal to look up manifests.
Yeah, right?
Or how? I don't know.
That means he's looking up
I know they're
everybody.
no longer accessing my mileage or whatever, my frequent flyer accounts because I changed all the passwords and you have to have a code to even get in.
Okay.
And they did that, like, they made a special exception for that because I explained to them what was going on.
Yeah.
So I know they're not hacked into that. And so they just get it through either the airport or the airline.
So what, do they call the airline every day and say
I don't
who's on
know.
it?
The dude at TMZ. I know his name.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should
The
bash it.
guy gave up the information because he knew that if he didn't, I wasn't going to sign it. I didn't say that, but he could tell that I was flustered. And I was like, well, thank you for telling me that. I was like, man, I always tell the truth. Like we're New Yorkers. We tell the truth.
Yeah, right. What the hell
That's
is that?
what he said. I was like, I'm thankful. And I signed his stuff and he didn't have a ton of it. And then we were on our way.
Sirius XM's in New York and they lied to me all the time. Get the fuck out of here with telling the truth.
We're not in business together.
Never
I guess
been
we kind of
never
are.
met a bigger pack of bullshit artists. Fucking the whole building's lying to me. Anyway, hey, I want to beat that guy up now.
The dude from TMZ?
Yeah.
It's almost guaranteed he's in LA.
Yeah, Google my flight, motherfucker. See what happens. I'm joking. I would not do that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to stop, but at least I was enlightened to the situation.
All right.
So, anyway, there's that.
Yeah. So I saw on your Instagram that you did an airwalk.
Dude, that was one of the hardest things I've done on a skateboard or just in life in years. In years.
And airwalks used to be pretty easy for you.
All day.
Wow.
And I realized...
Unprofessional.
is that your phone?
Yep.
You want to answer it?
No. Really? It's no one cool. It's never going to be. It's not like you. It's not going to be Kid Cudi.
Oh, yes, I would like to change my cellular plan. Tell me more.
That's usually what it is. Scamming.
Yeah, so I wanted to shoot. I wanted to do something new-ish, and then kind of set up like, okay, airwalk would be cool. Like literally 40 years ago is when I did the first airwalk.
Yeah.
And so, and I used to.
Somebody was just saying, like, when someone has like a Pantera celebrates their 30-year album, and you go, "Fuck, I'm so old." Like that just seemed like the other day. What do you mean that was 30 years ago? When you just said I did an airwalk 40 years ago, I was like,
40 years.
Man, we're
but also, what
No wonder my
surprised me when I realized that yesterday was that I've never had a problem with it in all those 40 years.
Yeah.
I just would run it if I needed to. I usually had it to fakie pretty easily. I could do it backside, whatever. I wasn't even, it was more like I did it more as not a joke, but more like a nostalgia, goofy kind of thing. Like I would do it in my
it was like a filler
days.
at the end of the run.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, remember these?
And demo airwalks are really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And so then yesterday, dude, I could not. So half the time I can't do a setup air properly because my leg buckles half the time. So I'm going up the wall and then suddenly it gives out and I don't get the right takeoff and I'm going to hang up and it just doesn't work. So when I would get a good setup, then I'd need my leg to hold strong through that landing and then through the going up the next wall.
Makes sense.
So half the time I'm not getting to the trick. The other half of the time when I do get to the trick, my leg buckles on the way up. So I go to try an airwalk. It's just hopeless.
Yeah.
So then I only get really a few good attempts over the course of an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And my leg is already weak from, atrophy from not skating as much as I used to. I'm doing exercises, but it's not like I'm not going hard on it every single day. So at one point, I'm like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
I'm having a breakdown. I only got 2 really good attempts in that whole time, and then I was just like, fuck, I gotta make this happen. And then about halfway through, I bailed my board. It landed upside down and caught a seam, and then delaminated.
Oh, wow.
You know that happens, right?
Like
but
you ripped
usually
the
it's
top
just like
off?
a little bash or like your tail's bent up a little bit and you can slam it down and keep going.
It was unrideable.
It one layer of the laminate of the ply peeled up. My whole tail's gone.
Oh, okay.
My
So
tail
you-
is just exposed wood.
So you need to get a new board.
So then I go get a new board, but in that moment with my leg, I need to keep my leg moving.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take long to set up a board, but long enough that I'm like back to square one.
Yep.
So then I go back up and I'm so tired. Try it again, same deal, but now I'm more tired. At one point I'm going up the stairs and my leg is shaking at every stair. I was like, dude, this is seriously the hardest battle I've had in so long.
Haven't you battled this whole time?
Yeah, but usually it's less than an hour, and it's more psychological.
Yeah.
Like when I'm trying to do something, relearn something through this recovery, it's been more that I have the motion, I have the technique, I just need to convince myself it's okay.
Okay.
It was not the case like this. I just wasn't getting the strength and the takeoff that I needed to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
So I finally get one, kick it out both ways, proper airwalk, get my feet back on, and I can't get it to straighten out. So I'm just stuck in a 90-degree landing sideways. And you got to get your feet, like when you land like that, you got to get your feet right to fix it.
Yeah.
If you're going to try to kick turn in or shuffle in.
Yeah.
And so my feet it was like, I threw it away. And
Okay,
that's when
good.
I broke down. Because I was like, I just had it. Like that was it. That was the one.
People that don't
had
know
it.
this, when you skate with Tony Hawk, he's a pretty upbeat, positive guy. And when Tony Hawk is having a bad day, it depends on who you are, I guess. To me, I really respect skateboarding. And Tony Hawk is a great ambassador. And when he has a bad day, it makes me feel bad. And I don't take this the wrong way, but I'm so happy that I wasn't there.
Oh,
because when you
yeah.
get real down,
No one else was there.
I want to say something, but it's like I'm like, come on, buddy, cheer up. And I'm like, when I'm dark and I can't make something, and someone goes, come on, man, cheer up. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like I'm having a bad day. But
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty. Right?
And
No, but I try to be like,
give
come
me
on,
that
you
look.
got this.
I don't want you to be like, oh yeah, I've got it, do I? I'd be like, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I also had because I was trying that. Jared and Cameron, who do our film production, they started shooting me because they're like, "Oh, this is something."
Yeah.
So they start. So then now I'm like, "Oh my god!" Now
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on also, and like I have to see this through.
Yep.
If they weren't there, I probably would have given up after that first hour. Probably when my board delaminated, I'd be like, "That's a sign.
Yeah.
I got to go home."
Yeah.
So they were there. Swift was shooting photos of it.
Oh, there's mad pressure.
So yeah, I got a production crew
Right.
documenting
They're like,
this.
we're ready for you to
No
make
one
it.
else is skating.
No one's on the ramp.
No one.
Probably because they're scared.
No, because they're supposed to come later. Right after that, we had Reese Nelson's 10th birthday party. So
I saw that. That's adorable.
all the skaters came for that.
Yeah.
But I knew that I wanted to do this on my own before they got there.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, I finally get another good setup. I kick it out, and I'm like, okay, this is it. And then I land it, and I'm like shaking. You can see my legs shaking. I'll show it on video later, but you can see my legs shaking on the way down the wall. And I come up, and I was like collapsed, just whatever, fell back down the ramp, slid down, just like laid there. And it wasn't even like I could be that celebratory because it was such a painful experience to get through.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to be jacked for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm flying to Zurich tonight. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be a rough weekend. I'm flying
Yeah.
to Zurich tonight to go to a skate charity, on behalf of a charity to a skate camp and skate a mini ramp. I'm done.
Well, at least it's a mini ramp. Wait, mini ramp
No,
actually makes it worse
makes
for
it
you?
harder because I
Yeah.
can't run out of anything.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of 5-0s.
Yeah. Even those are scary, man. Like, because if it goes a little bit wrong, you can't run out.
True. So anyway, I left. We did Reese's thing. We had a video premiere for her video, which will probably be out by the time this airs,
Okay.
which is crazy.
I bet.
And that was a surprise for her birthday. And then I, show the video, high five, cake, whatever. I went home. I was sitting next to Kathy. I mean, this is like maybe 2 p.m. I'm sitting next to Kathy trying to return emails or something, and all of a sudden I'm alone asleep. Like my body
Switched off.
switched off.
Yeah.
And I only remember that happening once or twice in my life, but
From doing something for a really long time.
yeah. One of them was shooting Ban This. I remember at the night after shot Ban This, well, we shot it for like 3 days straight. All that stuff.
Right.
The night shots on my ramp, the stuff at Fallbrook ramp.
Right.
And I remember just sitting down in my living room and falling asleep for the night.
Do you think if we keep going that sometimes we'll fall asleep when we're standing at the ramp?
I feel like something worse might have happened.
Right. Like, I can't wait for the bit where we're trying a trick and then we sit down on the couch for a second to gather ourselves and then we wake up. And
That's what happened to me. Oh, you mean at the ramp?
At the ramp, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was only an hour out from skating.
Right, so it could have been done at the ramp.
Oh,
You could have sat
absolutely,
down
yeah.
and been like,
yeah. But then when I woke up, I felt like someone was holding me down. I felt like my body wasn't going to
Exhausted.
work. I seriously felt like I drugged myself
yeah. You should do
from
steroids.
skating.
Tony Hawk on steroids would be sick.
All aggro.
Well, I keep forgetting about that part. That would be bad. But just jacked Birdman, because you know how old dudes that do steroids, they have like an old head, but their body's like super jacked?
Yeah.
You can do that.
I don't think I want to do that.
No, I know, but I just want to. I know. For
you
my
want to see me
entertainment,
like
I
that.
want to see. Jacked.
You want to see me like that briefly.
Yeah, because I don't
Right.
want to hang out with you for a long period of time. I mean, part of me does. Like you just flipping out on people. I'd be like, "Wow, this is crazy." Angry Tony is very entertaining.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So anyway, I was happy to get that done. I was thankful for that.
Can you rest on that going to Europe and be like, yeah, man, airwalk. Things aren't so
I
bad.
can, but I don't want to. I don't want to have such a long period of time between skating like I did. From the last time I skated to doing that, it was at least a week, and I don't want it to be so sporadic that it's like every time I skate, it's some big mission, and I'm not warmed up. I'm not in rhythm.
Yeah.
But then again, it's super hard to skate 2 days in a row. I'm on a quandary. What can I say?
You're on a what?
In a quandary.
A quandary.
Yeah. It's like I'm conflicted.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Sorry.
But
Quandary
quandary is
ass.
more like a situation that maybe you can't even control.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in a quandary.
Yeah.
I'm quandering 24/7.
I'm quandering. Now it's a verb.
I don't know how to use it. But I know I'm quandering, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out everything all at the same time. Whatever. Like you said,
All right.
it'll work out.
It'll work out.
I'm telling jokes tonight. I'm the headliner, which means nobody
Where?
at Ontario Improv, which means I don't think anybody's very good. If I'm the headliner, that's a bad sign. But whatever.
That's quite...
I did a show the
I
other
don't think
day.
that's the right perspective or approach to what you're doing.
Dude, I did a show the other day at Skankfest, and I had a guest on, and famous comedian lady that I really like, and then out of nowhere, Pauly Shore,
Yeah, we talked about that.
he just walks out onto
Yeah.
and he told me like, you're not really ready for anything in a nice way, but it made it worse because he was like, I'm trying to help you by telling you that you shouldn't be doing any more than 10 minutes or whatever. And now when I get asked to do stuff that is a little above because now I'm like, oh man, I didn't know I was doing that. Like if someone asked me to headline, I'm like, yeah, of course. Like this is the whole point.
Is that an upgrade in pay?
Usually I don't really get paid. Well, if I get paid, it's like $50. So if you're
headlining, you actually do get paid.
Yeah, when I headline, I made like a couple of grand, and that's not fair if you're a comedian of my caliber. You're not good enough to do that yet. And I didn't sell it out. That's just what I'm gathering from everybody else. And I didn't talk shit. I just said something about a group of comedians that I didn't really like them for doing so. I don't want to get into it because I'm going to get into more trouble. But I just said something. I was like, fuck those guys. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do that, I don't need to hang out with you. And that got back to them. So now I'm like, man, Jason, do you always have to, you know what I mean? Like, do you always have to say everything? I know that most people.
I like how you think you're doing this comedy in a vacuum.
Yeah.
It's like when we used to be on SiriusXM and we would say something about a business or a product, and they would get back, and they're like, dude, I didn't think anyone would listen to our show.
Yeah, me too. I listened to Bert Kreischer's got a show where he's cooking, or what, I spell something burning or something it's called, but he had Whitney Cummings and Tim Dillon on, and they were talking about Howard Stern and Sirius XM, and is it worth being on there? And I was like, oh, for sure they're going to bring me up. Nah.
Oh man, you set yourself up for disappointment with that.
But
one.
it didn't really bum me out, but I'm just saying, like, there was one right there where I was like, oh, any second now they're going to say, well, Jason, you know what I mean, left and he's in podcasting, but no.
Damn,
Whitney
man,
Cummings and Bert Kreischer are a part of the Liquid Death team, you know that?
They are?
Yeah, like we are. Like
I found out just the other day that, X Games has been bought.
Yeah.
And I'm part of investor in that.
Oh.
Cool. So is Guy Fieri. He texted me the other day and he's like, hey man, I just heard that you're part of the X Games. Like, great minds think alike. And I was thinking, what does that mean? He's like, I'm in it too.
It's like Sketches calling me and saying, great minds think alike. I'd be like, But he's a really nice guy,
I like him.
Right?
No, I'll defend
Everybody
him.
says all great things about him.
No,
it's
I
weird
love
how
him.
Frosted Tips can throw you off, you know?
He's my age.
Yeah?
Well, I thought he was
What, am I
younger.
supposed to be surprised by that? You think he looks great?
I don't know. I just thought he was younger.
Sometimes fat can stop the wrinkles because of the pushing out.
Why did I bring this up?
Look,
I did a
starting to
show
hear-
with him. I did a show with him in San Diego. I can't say the restaurant. And I had so much fun.
Everybody that's met him says the same thing you say, that he is a great guy. I saw a thing on TikTok the other day.
And he does a lot of charity stuff.
That's the thing that came up. He does a lot of stuff to help the community.
Yeah,
so he's a good
fan.
guy.
I mean, whatever. He's got his iconic look with the frosted
guess
tips
I
and
would-
the flame shirts and stuff, and that's who he is.
I'm trying to, because I really would like to have hair again. But if I could only have his haircut versus the haircut I
choose
have
not to.
now, I think I would still be bald.
The haircut I have
tough.
now. The tattoos I have now.
And this bit, like, why does he do that bit? It's just shave that off, you know?
It's iconic though.
Oh. Does
Right?
he still wear a flame shirt?
It would be like if it would be like when Kenny Rogers no longer looked like Kenny Rogers.
What is Kenny Rogers doesn't look like Kenny Rogers anymore. Have you seen him?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry.
That's confusing. If Guy
It was
Fieri
a
just
bad
went
look.
for a full.
Like, what's that girl that was in the Nobody Puts Her in the Corner and then she got a nose job and she didn't look.
Right.
Nobody used her ever again because she had like a.
I thought she had a sitcom.
Did she?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't know because you don't know it's her anymore.
I suppose.
A lot of people doing that lately. What's
Okay,
that?
that's one thing. One thing is sculpting your face. I'm talking about just a look.
Right. Yeah, but
Right.
Yeah, but things change, you know? Like, imagine if you had the same pants on from 1985 now.
Right.
That's for Halloween.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know. I was thinking about, obviously when the shows gets bigger, because it's going to, just like you said, Whitney
I
Cummings.
bet we could get Guy on here.
That'd be
sick.
Because then I would have to really shut the fuck up because I'll be like, man, this guy's a really cool guy.
No, because he will definitely, he'll sway your opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
He will.
I hope he makes a burger. Because that's
he'd be down.
I really like burgers, and he seems like the kind of
guy.
That
was the thing, though. That was, and I can't, like I said, I can't say the restaurant yet, but watching him with the chef,
yeah,
dude knows his shit like inside and out.
Yeah,
you know every aspect of it.
Good.
I mean he.
I saw him.
He walks the walk. That's what I'm saying.
I saw him. He made a burger with Rocky, and it looked like a really good burger.
Yeah.
And I was like, man.
Are you talking about Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Rambo, whatever you want to.
Rocky.
Yeah. What? I guess I would hook up with his mom. She died, right?
I don't know.
She lived a long time.
I'm so out of the loop. I didn't even know Sylvester Stallone had daughters. I don't.
Do you know that when he came out of the.
When he came out?
Of the vagina?
Oh.
Yeah, not the closet. His lip got caught on a flap. It's true.
That's just
it's true.
Dumbest folklore. Oh my god.
He said it.
He said it. Well,
that's what I heard on TikTok. TikTok tells me a lot of information, man.
Oh my god, who are you? What is going on?
We don't have a guest. So I thought I'd start saying
so you're just gonna start a bunch of rumors about celebrities.
Nobody's listening. Rumors. Rocky's not gonna find out.
Rocky.
If he does find out, let's go. That's my main event. Jason Ellis versus Rocky Balboa.
Oh my god.
That's a huge fight. Did you see? You don't care about fighting. Did you see that Anderson Silva and Jake Paul? Yeah, I saw it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I did actually. The highlights permeate.
Yeah, that's all you needed to see. It's kind of boring.
I saw that he got hit really hard, but managed to shake it off. Right, Jake Paul.
He didn't really. He got clobbered a little bit. It was definitely his hardest fight he's had. I mean, rightfully
but
so.
He won.
Yeah. And people, it's weird because he's always been annoying to me because he's obviously Conor McGregor without the level of Conor McGregor. I don't know how to explain it in a skateboard way, but you're acting and talking like you're winning in real contests.
Super champ.
We don't have like a celebrity skateboarder that isn't pro, but is like, I could beat, like Jason Ellis. You could beat me. Jason Ellis was top 3 in the world. I was. But right now, you could probably beat me. Right. And I feel like he takes fights against MMA Jason Ellis's. But Anderson Silva is really good. He beat another boxer that's a really good boxer. He won flat out. So I see people talking shit on him saying, you only fight washed up guys. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Anderson Silva washed up is still Anderson Silva, and that's still a really heavy fight. So I'm actually kind of leaning on his side a little now because I see the public, they're like, oh, blah, 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 and you didn't get that many pay-per-views. I'm like, 300,000 pay-per-views is not real bad for a guy that's a YouTube guy that had a fight.
Right.
He was the main event, and he beat him. So you got to give him credit. So I do give him credit, but...
Yeah, I won't argue.
A friend of mine that does breath work, he taught me how to do this breath work stuff. He's a weird guy. Lucas is his name. He's got a lot of tattoos, head tattoos and stuff, so he kind of looks like a smaller, at peace me. And
at peace me.
You know what I mean? But he was there to help Jake Paul do the breathwork stuff before the fight. He's going to help me for my fight. But I guess Nate Diaz and all those guys were in the dressing room trying to mess with him. And Lucas, innocent Lucas, who was very peaceful, tried to walk past them, and Nate attacked him. Did some sort of choke and pushed him back. And
who's Nate?
Nate Diaz? You don't know who that is?
No.
Cool. That's awesome. He's like a famous UFC fighter. Been around for a long time. Super tough guy.
Why is he messing with him?
Because he's a very violent person. But he wasn't
the
Stockton.
opponent.
No, but he's But I think Nate Diaz wants to fight everybody
I need context.
at all times.
Why is he hassling the breath dude if he's not even fighting?
Because Jake has brought up that he would beat up Nate Diaz. And that's a crazy thing to say, especially
So he's guilty by proxy.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
I think there's already...
So all this is common knowledge. You guys all knew this?
I did, yeah.
All right.
They basically brought Nate Diaz to,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah,
promote that this
it's a
dude's
big...
an expert.
They're hyping.
Okay, got
but
it.
when you
All right.
hype Nate
Okay.
Diaz,
All right.
he's not fake. Like, I feel like when
Okay, I'm
people...
sorry for being so clueless.
One time he almost beat me up. You know that? Him and his brother, so you don't know the Diaz brothers, but they are very dangerous people. Nick and Nate Diaz, very famous, some of the greatest MMA fighters that have ever lived. And a friend of mine who's now in prison because he lost his mind, but Jason Mayhem Miller, who was a crazy guy who was a really good fighter. He fought several people that he beat that were UFC like legends. So Jason has said some stuff about the Diaz brothers. At one point, they had a fight in the ring after a fight where they all beat up Jason after the fight. Like, he jumped in and was like, I want a rematch. And they all beat him up on TV.
Wow.
So they're very aggressive. And Jason is with me. I've got tickets because I know Dana White. So I've got tickets. And he's like, let me sit with you. And I'm like, dude, because he's one of those guys that just doesn't answer to anything. And I'm like, I don't want to look bad, dude. So don't sit next to me. And he brought some girl. And I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, I don't want to get in trouble for having extra people here. Like, piss off. So he gets in front of the girl and walks her out. And as he walks her out, the Diaz brothers are walking over. And I don't know. I'm on my phone. I had recently eaten some flowers. Say that. So I was pretty relaxed.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah, I think so.
I ate weed. There you go.
Okay.
A lot. It was the fight.
Okay.
So I was like pretty relaxed, you know? And I was looking at my phone.
I wasn't sure if you considered mushrooms flowers, so that's why
Oh, no, I wasn't
confused.
tripping.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I keep forgetting. I don't want to go too far. I feel like I've already done that a couple of times today. But anyway.
We all know you smoke weed, Jason. It's not a
Hell
big deal.
yeah.
Oh
What's
my
up?
God.
Fucking Tyson, let me get some of those ears.
I should have. Wait, I did give you some, right?
You know you didn't.
Oh, I didn't? Oh.
Fucking asshole. Probably gave him to some other good buddy of yours, I bet. There's no way he likes weed as much as I do.
No. You're
Anyway, so it's the chair, like, as the chairs are really close in front of me, and I'm looking at my phone, and these two have walked down the, like, you know how you have to go sideways to go past people?
Yep.
So they bump into my leg.
Oh, no.
And I look up, and it's both of them looking very angry. And I'm like, it's basically like Mike Tyson and
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield don't like me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love you two. My friend is an idiot. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't say any of that.
Yeah.
I just look up and they're like, what's up? And I'm like, I don't know.
Flowers. I eat flowers.
I should have
That's
said
what's
that.
up.
They would have been like, oh, cool. So did we.
No, apparently not.
They do. Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's the thing. The Diaz brothers and Jace would be mates.
Okay.
But I'm also full of shit and like I dress like a dickhead. I mean, I got all stuff on me. Like, they don't like those guys.
Okay.
So they're never gonna like me. But at one point, they stood over me, and I was like, I'm gonna get beaten up by the Diaz brothers at the UFC. This is gonna be bad, but legendary.
I think, is that really what's in your head
Oh,
in
hell
that
yeah.
moment?
I was like, it's going to be, because people will get him off, security will get him off,
Oh, man.
but it's going to be like maybe 2 minutes of hell. I figure if I just ball up and let him boot me, but after it, when they get him off me, it's like surviving a
Yeah.
shark attack. What's that scar? Oh, shark, great white got him here.
Right.
I poked him and
Yeah.
I'm still here. You know what I mean? Like, which is a story I've always wanted to tell, but no shark has ever attacked me. One time I got close. One time a fish hit my leg, like a big fish, and
Yeah.
I was swimming in the water with my brother and his friends, and it was back when we weren't allowed to be high, so we would go in the ocean, and then our eyes would be bloodshot, and my stepmom would be like, why are your eyes bloodshot? And I'm like, because we're in the ocean, dummy. Duh. That was my plan. But I'm in the ocean, and like, dunk, and I'm like, oh. I go, Stevie, start swimming back. And he's like, What do you mean? I'm like, fucking swim back, dudes.
Yeah, but you have no idea what size fish or anything it was.
But I assumed that it was a great white.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We're in the
absolutely.
outback. That's where they are.
Oh my God.
So I put my head down, start swimming, and then I realized that the shark could eat my brother, and that's not cool. So I put my head up and start breaststroking slowly while my brother and his friend swim in front of me to commit to being eaten by a shark so that they don't get eaten.
I like
Your
your version of the story. I don't think it's based in reality.
Yeah, right. That's 100% truth right there.
Cool story.
Fuck you, Tony Hawk.
Your leg touched something in the water. It was definitely a great white coming to eat you.
Look, I'm Australian. My foot knows what a shark feels like. It was very rough. Sharks have rough skin. Great whites have like sandpaper. You ever see Jaws? When he bumped that one lady, didn't bite her, and half of her skin ripped off her side. Sharks are gnarly, dude.
True, they're gnarly. You just don't know what you actually touched.
Pretty sure I survived a shark
you know what?
attack.
I'll go with you on it. Wow, that's crazy.
Right? Thank you.
Holy shit,
Yes.
Jason. You survived a shark
Diaz
attack.
brothers tried to find me and a shark.
Yep.
Still here.
Legend.
I'm a legend, you guys.
There. Dude.
That's all I wanted.
All right, so I'll placate to you. You're right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Two legends doing a show, you know? Sure, Tony Hawk, airwalk. Shark attack Ellis.
I did see one time I was out in the water and it was super glassy day, like early morning.
Yeah.
And
Sharks love that.
I was paddling out and it was, you know, when you get a wave where you're going to get under it, like it's about to break and you're going to make it through.
Yeah.
As it was breaking, I see this giant fish. I don't know if it was a shark.
It was.
It could have been, who knows?
We both survived shark
Could have been a
attacks.
tuna. Dart through the wave so that when it breaks on me, there's a chance I'm gonna punch through into
a
whatever the thing is. It's not
shark.
coming at me.
was a shark.
But it was definitely clear because the wave, glassed off. I just turned around and got hammered by the wave and let it take me in.
You probably survived a shark attack. That's pretty much what I'm hearing.
Dude.
We did it again.
That's right. Hawk versus wolf versus sharks.
Yeah. We should
did
fight
it.
sharks for the show.
I got invited to host Shark
We've got a
Week
huge budget
couple
now. These
times.
guys could hook it up.
I did get invited to host Shark Week a couple times, but
And
the
you
timing,
didn't?
Well, no, timing was bad. They hit me up with like barely any leeway.
Were you going to jump one, or what were you going
I
to do?
think they wanted me to do the cage thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You've swum with sharks, right?
I haven't really. Oh, I did swim.
swam with whale
We swam
sharks.
with sharks in Tahiti. Literally, like the guy pulled up on this boat, and we're seeing all these sharks underneath us.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Go ahead."
Yeah.
What? Like, yeah, just go ahead. And then my son Keegan, first one off the boat,
Hell yeah.
jumps in, and we're just like, "Wait, what?" And so then we were swimming with sharks.
Yeah. How big?
I don't know, somewhere like 5 feet.
Yeah. I did that in Hawaii with my wife. They go, jump out. First they go, see all that? And it's like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they go, jump out and just hold on. There was a rope that had other ropes on it.
Yeah, well,
and you just hold the rope and hang by the
There
boat.
was no protocol here.
Right. Different place.
We're in Tahiti, and they're like, And they go, are they dangerous? And they go, a shark will do what a shark will do.
That's not cool.
We're like, what?
That's not the good answer I want right there.
There was something like, well, sharks are sharks. And it was like,
That means that they will bite you.
yeah, because they don't want to be liable, so they have to give you a disclaimer.
How does
They're
that?
like,
That's
a
not
shark
a disclaimer. That's not enough. Hey, sharks are sharks. Have a go. But
So I shot some video, and then I got back on the boat.
right, I got up real close to them, and they seemed friendly, like dogs. Like a couple times, one swam up close, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and I was like, "Oh, I feel like it's just he's got a bad vibe. It's kind of like me. Like
Did you give him a treat?
No. I would have if they had given
then
me
you
a
don't
fish
have
to
to
give
like
him
dogs
one.
then.
Sounds a bit edgy, but I would have done it. But they seem friendly. And I told you, I watched that lady that like is friends with tiger sharks. And there's a way to, when a shark approaches you, you touch him on the nose and you put his nose up and he doesn't eat you. So
I'm not going to try that.
That's well, I don't want to try that, but if I am in the water and a shark is going to attack me, I'm definitely going to try that.
I don't think we didn't give them snacks because I feel like they would get bitey.
Yeah, they miss. They get all fish crazy and they think your hand's a fish or your foot. And next thing you know, you're being eaten.
It's not like feeding a squirrel.
Which is very dangerous too because they have rabies. Nobody gets.
Oh my God.
They do.
Yeah, they could. Yes, you're right.
Nobody gets rabies anymore, huh? Fix that. It's pretty hard to get rabies, right? Is there a cure for rabies?
I don't know.
Come on, man. We're Hulk versus.
When's the last time you heard of anyone getting rabies?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm
But
sure it
squirrels
happens,
have rabies.
but okay, we've established that.
I didn't get that off TikTok, so it's true. So yeah, animals, man. What's up with those guys?
How are yours? How are yours liking the move?
Yeah, well, they haven't moved yet. So we got the house, and then we move in next week. But I'm in the middle of pulling down a studio and building a new one while just putting stuff in boxes. Every time I'm home, I just keep putting things in boxes. And then there is one day where they keep all the stuff and then they put it in the house. So there's one day where we don't have a place to live and we have 5 dogs and 2 cats. So I haven't figured out what that day is going to be like, but it sounds terrible. But it's all going to be great.
Okay.
I also would like to know, if you live in the valley, can you drive a golf cart on the streets? Because nobody wants to buy my golf cart, and I don't. And I'm like, well, then I'm bringing it.
Does it have a license plate?
Yeah.
Probably then.
I'm gonna say that if a cop pulls me over. Tony Hawk told me it was fine.
I took my daughter to Catalina a couple weeks ago, and we rented a golf cart. I thought that we could just rent one like a rental car.
Yeah.
And just have it the whole time.
Yeah.
No, just by the hour.
Oh.
And they go quick. So I had to go there right when they open to be first in line to get one. And we had it for 2 hours. And then it was like trying to get my daughter and her friends up and about was the first hour.
Right.
And the second hour was like driving to a couple of sites, and then that was it.
And then you had to give it back.
Give it back, yeah.
Do you want to buy mine?
Can I rent it next time I go to Catalina?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. For the day, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
No, because she had a bunch of friends. It wouldn't fit.
How would you get it there? It's an island.
How many does it fit?
4.
Yeah.
But you can put a back one on there if it does 6.
Oh. You mean like you can modify the current one you have?
Yeah.
All right.
Just
I don't
saying.
think I can get it there, but cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, it looks like I'll be the only person in the valley that has a golf cart, which is kind of a cool look.
Yeah, I feel like where you were living, though, the streets were narrow. They weren't like, and they were made more like people
Everybody
expect
has
to
one
see
there.
them.
Yeah.
I don't think in the valley people are really looking out for golf carts.
You're going to look weird.
Well, also, you're going to be in danger.
Of what?
Drivers who don't care,
Right.
who are going to try to pass you.
Right.
Because
Well-
are you in the bike lane? Are you in the?
I'm in the car lane.
and
it's a car.
but
It does 38 miles an
yeah,
hour.
that's not fast enough for
No,
like
no.
Ventura Boulevard.
No, you can't go on big streets. You have to do side
Okay,
streets.
I don't know. I don't know what
I
to
just
tell you.
wonder what the legalities of it. If I drive past a police officer and they're like, "You can't do that," I'm like, "Why? It's got a seatbelt. It's registered. What's your beef?" The new house guy that owns a house said that I could put a mini ramp in the front yard.
Oh, that's sick.
That's pretty cool.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I think I might copy the Liquid Death mini ramp.
I don't.
I went there yesterday to get my face scanned to be an old lady.
Yeah.
And the mini ramp, I'd skated it once, but I really looked at it yesterday and was like,
Okay, wait, you're doing the old lady thing. You're supposed to skate, right?
nah, Andy's that.
Oh.
I'm fighting
Oh, that's right.
and doing a burnout in my car, which sounds
That's pretty sick. So was Andy there too?
No, because they just have. I was supposed to go in 2 weeks ago, but I got COVID right when they wanted me to come in. I was like, no. So they've been hammering me until I was good enough to go there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I found out. I wanted to fight because my friend I picked, they were like, "Do you have a person that you could fight?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." So I got my buddy that I fight all the time. I'm like, "You're going to be an old lady and we're going to fight." And he's like, "Man, I can't wait to punch you in your old lady face." I'm like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "I can't wait to kick you in your old lady head." And they're like, it would be really better if you got choked out. I was like, okay.
Wow. Dark.
Yeah, but it's fake choked.
Okay.
It's like I've just got to be, someone choking me and I've got to be like, I'm an old lady.
Did you ever see, I don't know if you weren't on Huck Jam when we did it, but we used to, every year we would do different intros, like video intros to the show on the ones in the arena tour. One, it was just interviews. Another one was we were all old and we actually had Hollywood makeup people make us old, like we were an old person's home.
Yeah.
And we're all reminiscing about the good old days of the Huck Jam.
So good.
And so it was like, Annie, me, Ronnie Feiss, oh man, who else? Everyone.
Lincoln.
Matt Hoffman, John Parker, everyone. Matt Hoffman was just a head on the table. Like we're all in wheelchairs and stuff, and we're all old. And so Matt
the only
was
thing
just
that's
a
left
head.
is Matt as a head.
That's all that was left of Matt.
So good. That's so.
We did a whole skit. It was pretty funny. But when we look back on the photos, like Andy and I are kind of almost looking like we did.
Yeah, right.
Because there's a photo of us skating together, and we were holding, and it was like, is that a current photo? Yeah, like what's going on?
Man.
It's pretty funny.
Well, you never know with my background.
Lincoln and Sergi. Yeah, it was funny, man.
I might end up being an old lady when I get older. My granddad turned into an old lady before he died.
In what sense?
He transitioned.
He really did transition.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How old was he? She.
Well done. we
old were
we
they?
know what's going on. She was about 70. Yeah, she wasn't hot. My dad was not cool with it because my dad was like old school or whatever, and I think that he never really liked his dad.
There's some irony in that if he's old school, but she's older.
Yeah, she's super old school, but she is
Just had to do
futuristic
it.
in some kind of way.
Right.
Yeah, but I remember.
Do you think you were inspired by that when you found out?
Wait, he made me gay?
No, I don't know. Just inspired to be yourself.
I was like, whoa, because, well, at the time when he transitioned, I didn't know that I was bi. I was like, that's crazy. But I wasn't bummed out about it. But when I got back from, my dad picked me up at the airport, back from America after a year of being in America, and he goes, guess what Jock's done? I'm like, his father, and I go, what? He's like, fucking idiot, fucking woman. I was like, what's so bad about that? It's ridiculous.
That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, I was like, let him be, you know what I mean? His wife dead, and then he had some other wife that was the same age as my dad. That didn't go very well for anybody. But then she left him, and now he's alone, and he wants to be a lady. Let him be a lady. But
That's so tricky.
he lived next to a guy that moved to Melbourne that was a skateboarder that knew who I was. So at my ramp one day, he goes, hey, man, you got a granddad, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, is he a woman now? And I go, yeah, how'd you know that? He goes, I live next door to him in Queensland. I'd see him all the time with his dress on and, you know what I mean, going out with his friends. He had like a bunch of gay friends. Like he had a whole new life.
Yeah.
But he had a car that my dad gave him, one of those real little cars, like I don't know what they're called, but real little. Like I used to drive it when my dad had it, and I would put my head out of the sunroof.
Renault.
Something ridiculous. And in Queensland, once I saw him at an intersection, and he had, like ladies' hair and stuff.
Yeah.
And I hid behind the pole because I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. Like if he saw me and I saw him, because he hadn't actually hung out with anybody in the family since he became a woman. Like I never actually saw him face to face.
But was that because the family?
Yeah, they weren't cool with him.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sucks.
Yeah, and then he died. But he called the show once, and was on the Jason L show on Sirius XM, and I'll never forget it because it was the last time I talked to him. But he said, because he was always a mumbler and he was kind of halfway out already. But he was like, you're the best of us, Jace. You're the best of us. And I was like, thanks, Granddad.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But did you say granddad?
Shit. Nah. Fuck. Yeah, I definitely didn't say thanks, Grandma. Yeah, I wasn't
Do you think she would have appreciated that more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Whoops. I think
Early lessons, I guess.
I think I called her Jock. I think she changed her name. Maybe she did. I don't know. I never found out. It was she was shut off. Yeah.
Shunned. Yeah.
Shunned. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't for you to be the catalyst for all that change.
And he used to be a pro hockey player when he was young. Mm-hmm. So he might be me, and that might happen. I might, like, when I get to 70 and Katie leaves me, I might.
These are all just factual things that will be happening in your timeline.
Move to San Francisco and be a lady.
When you're talking about the little car, it reminded me. I don't know why. I think it's because we're in Santa Monica. A long time ago, I was on the Presidential Fitness Council when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor.
Yeah,
like I got chosen to be part of that. Part of the board, basically.
Sick.
And the head of that was Jake, Body by Jake.
Yeah. I met Body by Jake at a demo. His kids skated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ended up connecting with me and like keeping in touch. And he wanted to hook me up with the woman who started or was a big part of Fiji Water.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, come up here and we'll talk, we'll maybe talk to her about doing something. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I came up here and then he's like, oh, come to my office. I came to his office. And then he said, let's go meet her. And they had just started some pomegranate soda or something. Yeah. I don't know. Like maybe that's the angle. I have no idea what's going on. I just know that Body by Jake wants me to go talk about a business proposition.
Yeah.
So I go meet him. And then he just got one of those smart cars. Do you remember those? They were basically a 2-seater car.
Yeah. Man,
like with the back just cut off.
Yeah.
Right? So it looks like a people mover. It doesn't even look like a car.
Doesn't he have a lot of money?
I don't know, but he thought it was super cool. It was like this, and it was before electric cars, so it's like this was the most economy efficient, whatever. Oh. So he and I are driving around Hollywood.
You got
in this
in
thing. He's driving. We're going from his office to the Fiji Water headquarters.
I'll drive myself.
And I'll never forget driving around, and everyone can see us. It's all glass. And we're in this weird car, and people recognize us both, and there's like, what the hell is going on right there?
Tony Hawk in a glass
it was
miniature
like that,
car.
exactly. I remember many people pointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or us being in an intersection, like at an unprotected left turn, and we're in the left turn, and people driving by are just like,
yeah.
What happened right
What's
there?
happening in the world right now?
I don't know why. That always cracked me up.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling self-conscious, but at the same time, I was like, this is weirdly cool.
Is it?
I don't know. I was trying to convince myself of that.
Yeah, good luck. Buddy by Jake. I thought it was weird that he even wanted to talk to me. I was like, Buddy by Jake, get the fuck out of here. But that was a different me. Now I would love to be. I'm not going to that car, but I would talk to Buddy by Jake. How is Buddy by Jake?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Well, I hope you're doing good, Jake.
He made some playlist, Spotify play. I was on his like an email blast he sent out. Oh, but it was all the songs that they used to work out to. Oh, that was so funny.
Why did he send that?
It's worth. I don't know, but it's worth looking into. It's worth looking into. That's all I'm saying.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I'm gonna send you.
Was it directly to you, or was it?
No, it was email blast. It was to
like
his email list.
And what was the point? Like, oh man, I love this soundtrack. Is that what it?
No, but it's very much it's a time capsule.
Yeah.
Of like the 80s songs that was like work it, stuff like that.
Remember the guy with the long hair that was short and muscly, and he did the weird running one? What was his name?
He was later on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, weird guy.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He looked like a lady.
Tybo? No,
it was a white guy with blonde hair, long blonde hair, and he would wear a hat and put the hair out of the back of the hat like a lady.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He had the ab thing going on.
Maybe.
His name was Tony.
Maybe, yeah, sounds right.
Is it Tony Little?
Little, yeah.
Oh,
Man, that
okay,
might
then
just-
yeah.
yeah.
It makes sense because he was small. Yeah. Tony Little, that's him. Yeah.
I did a cameo with him.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, in a weird motocross
What is your deal
movie.
with kooks?
Fresno Smooth. Do you ever see Fresno Smooth?
The movie.
Yeah, it was a motocross, like a freestyle motocross
Yes.
movie.
Wait, you were in it with him?
He and I and Tony Alva are in the scene where we're like corporate suit people.
Tony
It was-
Little and
yeah.
Tony Hawk and Tony Alva.
Yes, that happened. Look it up.
I actually will look that up
It's
because that is
absurd.
that
It's
is
absurd.
ridiculous. That's Buddy by Jake and Tony Hawk in a glass miniature car, or Tony Alva, Tony Hawk, and Tony Little
Yep.
in a movie together.
Yep. I remember
Man, you've seen
I
some
ad-libbed
shit.
a line. I ad-libbed a line where he got up to talk as he's doing a pitch for the whatever it is, the pro riders or something.
Yeah.
And Tony Alva and I are listening, and I lean over and I'm like, that guy's got great abs.
You riff that.
Yeah, I riffed that, and
Nice.
I thought it was hilarious. at the
Comic
time.
Relief by Tony
Yeah.
Hawk.
And Tony Alva's like, I think so.
Wow, that must have been very painful for Tony Alva to agree with you on
Maybe,
that.
yeah.
I could just imagine him going, "Really, Tony? Really? Yeah, man."
I also remember, I mean, this was mid '90s. I agreed to do it just because a couple of my friends were involved. But one of the guys there that was he actually owned the building, or he worked in the building that they were doing the shoot at. Like he just allowed it because he was friends with someone. He let me borrow his sport coat,
Yeah.
so I looked like I was, and it was an Armani.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm wearing an Armani coat. Like, this is sick.
You felt good.
I mean, it was like,
This is all starting to make sense that you would get in Jake Buddy's car. Flexing on a jacket. Turd.
wow, you're making me sound very desperate.
Sounds a little like Buddy by Jake calls me and goes, "Hey man, come for a ride in my miniature fucking
That
glass
was
car."
not the pitch.
I'm like, I'm not
the
going,
pitch was
dude.
we're going to go meet with Fiji Water to do a sponsorship,
All right, whatever.
and nothing happened.
Well, we both survived shark attacks, so I feel like that's
And I'm
really,
thankful because look what we did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We're both business partners.
Move on. Cheers. All right.
Like and
To the moon!
Yeah, like and describe.
Are we done?
Assholes.
We're done. I wasn't.
We're done,
timing.
right? I thought you were not like showing me the phone like we were done.
No, I'll show you tomorrow.
Oh, sorry. We can not be done.
No, it's okay. We can be done.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to have full disclosure. We're supposed to have Kid Cudi on today,
We
and
were also Bill Clinton, Arnold Schwarzenegger. They were all coming today, but they didn't. But stay tuned next week because they'll probably be here.
Tony Little.
And Tony Little,
All in
and
the
we're all
same
going to
room.
get in a little glass car and do a podcast together. Fucking dickhead.